All right, according to the technology at hand here, YouTube tells me I should be live. So let's make sure that is actually the case. We will ask those of you in chat, if there is anyone in chat, we'll just say hi, sound check, please. Well, I should learn how to spell. That's one right there. Boom. All right. So, as I wait for people to pour in here, because this is very impromptu, I should have set this up a little bit earlier. I don't know what I did from the. Oh, what's up? Thank you. Check. Okay. I should have set this up a little bit earlier. Last weekend I went to a tournament, so that's why there was no live stream. And I was gonna live stream on Rumble today, but I decided to do YouTube for ease of what do you call it? Ease of use. And it was and the presets from what I was doing a couple of weeks ago were already set up for YouTube anyway, because they are not. I have to change the presets for Rumble to do Rumble things, and then when I want to film myself for, let's say, an HD show or a battle report that I'm editing, where I have like the HD corner segments, I have to switch those back over to the YouTube settings, and so there was that. So went to a tournament, and I don't even remember what I'm supposed to be doing here. I forgot to write all that crap down. Oh, that's why I have the phone. So I guess we'll enjoy one of my favorite Simpsons clips while I attempt to do my job.
Be show.
Hey kids, meet Grandpa Murphy.
We have 3 grandpas already.
This one is a great jazz musician.
Oh, they all are.
You see, the kids, they listen to the rap music, which gives them the brain damage. With their hippin' and the hoppin' and the bippin' and the boppin', so they don't know what the jazz is all about.
See, you don't know what the jazz is really all about. Yeah, and that's exactly how I feel every single day. I just need a ridiculous sweater to convey the fact that I'm old. That's what I need in life. I need a ridiculous sweater to convey the fact that I'm older than dirt now. Oh, Bill Cosby. All right. Okay, according to this, I have to talk about my tournament army and list. All right. So, yes, I went to an RTT, and it wasn't bad. I did not have a bad showing at this tournament. And so we're going to have some small little battle reports and everything, and we're going to talk about what I brought. So that requires me to pick up my shit here. To do some things here. Let me get into, let me minimize that. Open that. We got a lot of good things in this. And my shit didn't download just yet. Am I even in the right folder? I'm in the right folder. Oh, it is there. It's in different places. Okay, so let's talk about the army as a whole. We'll start off with Lord choices. All right. I gotta be able to see myself here. All right, so that's not it. Crap, that's the wrong photo. Black Orcs 3. Okay, there we go. So, there we go. All right. Let me just go to the photo now. I just need to get this away. I need to take this control panel over there. Otherwise, nothing is going to work. All right. And I can open that. So we got a Black Orc Big Boss with the effigy of Mork and the Ogre Blade. And he's also got a full plate and a shield. That guy's rocking at about 237 points. And he's this guy right over here. All right. Next up. Oh, wrong. I guess I'll have to do this manually. We got a Orc Weird Knob. shaman with the lore familiar, elementalism, and he's also got the he's just got the lore familiar, and he's level 4, and he's in a unit of 15 black orcs. 14 black orcs, and the next guy we got, let's see, and these are just the lord choices. Hold on. We're rocking a Orc BSB with the Sword of Might and, let's see, the War Banner. So that's what he's carrying. And he's rocking in about 147. The Weird Knob rocking in at about 200. And next up, we're just going to go over his unit because it's the next entry. At 390 points, you have a unit of black orcs with the big red raggedy flag, and there's 23 of them. 13 shields, 2 additional hand weapons, and 4 great weapons. And that actually came in really handy. This unit was kind of one of the workhorses in the army as far as absorbing charges and everything. This is a whopping 390 points in core. And then we have the archers. Let's see here. Now, all of my archers were skirmishers. We had 10 orc archers with bows, skirmish, and a musician. A second unit of orc archers. Oh crap, John, you suck. Hold on. Let me go over here, get into this OBS. I forgot to take down Aka here, so you can't even see the photos. There we go. Boom. All right, now you can see the photos. That was my bad. But second unit of orc archers, same thing. They're skirmishers. I went with the trays that I had. This is all that I had. This is all the trays that I have. Painted them up, got them all ready, and so these guys are skirmishers. I would just normally move them this way. Nobody seemed to have a problem with it. I wasn't gaining any advantages because of this, but it's just what I had tray-wise. So 10 of these guys. Next up, we'll be going through the photos again. We have, for special, 20. Oh, wrong photo again. So we're going to the Lord's unit, which consisted of 20 black orcs, and they were in a 3x7 formation, and these guys were rocking they were rocking 5 shields, 4 great weapons, and 9 additional hand weapons, and all of my black orcs were stubborn. This unit was 320 points, if I'm not mistaken, and so that's another thing that I forgot to mention. 320 points for these guys. And then the next unit with the wizard here, they were 216 points for 14 black orcs with stubborn, 4 shields, and 9 great weapons. This was the great weapons unit. And I was thinking about running these guys 7 wide, but there was really no reason for that because the 3x7 footprint is actually pretty big, and it just has a good presence on the field. You're not you're kind of you're kind of taking up a good chunk of the table with that to try to keep yourself from getting outflanked. And then we had, finishing us off in special, we had let's see. Oh, there it is with their hipping and their hopping and their bipping and their bopping. We had 2 orc chariots, and that's so you got just nothing special, no upgrades, just 2 orc chariots, and finally topping at 90 points apiece, and then topping that off out with a giant, and he's just 200 points, and this is a. Oh, it doesn't give me the total. I think this is 1,999 on the nose completely, and that's what I brought. And it did okay. It did better than I expected. Let's go into the first kind of like little miniature battle report here, and we'll talk about it. Let's see here. So my first game, it was kind of an unlucky draw, but a lucky draw for me because it was against Bretonnians, but it was a outcast Bretonnian army. So one of the most important things that I was able to do in this game was keep my formation. So I think this is right here at the top of 2, going into 3, and I kind of have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over here up at the top right. If I just move myself really quick, you can see that he's got a bunch of archers. There's up where all the archers are. There's 2 cannons and everything, and I just decided to ignore that. So this is supposed to be a house right here over onto the right. Just, oh, you can't see it again, but just where I am right there, you see the corner of that building, and the it's at the right-hand side of where the Pegasus Knights are. You can see my skirmishers in the forest, and if you go up, there's like a house there. So there's a house right here in the center where my cursor is. It looks like that. But over here, there's a house. And I just decided to ignore that side of the field entirely. Just abandon that side of the field. There's no point in going after his archers. There's no point in going after his cannon. The only things that I really have to worry about are his flying circus. And so that's why you have the checkerboard pattern. So you got the giant unit, another unit. Down here you got the archers. So when he wanted to fly over, he couldn't really legally fly over. Because he opted to do this instead because I just had enough room right here where that yellow dice is and where these guys were that he wouldn't be an inch away from me. And that's kind of where he ended up. He wouldn't be able to legally land there. He could have charged if he wanted to, but I would have ran away. But he didn't have any legal standing to land there, which was what he was hoping for. So he decided to come down from the top right here, hit the big unit to see if he could break it, and coming after this unit is really hard because the weapon skill 5 kind of comes in clutch for you. It keeps you from getting it makes a lot of things have to hit you on 4s. Weapon skill 4 will already have to hit you on 4s. Weapon skill 5 will have to hit you on 4s. But if they're weapon skill 2, well, they're going to be hitting you on 5s. But that came in clutch for me here because this is where the first charge occurred. And I did the best I could to maneuver and kind of keep him away from me with the flying circus because I didn't want any of that. And he had already taken some casual. I think he reformed. I don't think he took it. I think he took a couple casualties from arrow fire over the course of the turns, where he had 20. He had just over 20 guys in the knight unit right there, and so I was whittling it down with the archer fire, hitting on 5s, wounding on 4s. Just as he came in. And let's go to the next picture here. So it was very important to kind of keep this checkerboard pattern when playing Bretonnia. Chaos. Where are all my Bretonnian game? Okay. So we see another angle here of where he charged me and what was going on. You can see just underneath the screen cap of myself, you can see the corner of that house. You see the men-at-arms over here. And you see where I put my chariot. I put the chariot behind the house. So let me move myself again. I put the chariot behind the house. And I just started moving it away. I turned it, moved it as far as I could, and then I moved it again. Yeah, so this is like 2 here. So getting out of the way and just making sure that the chariot could come over to help when I needed it, because I was going to open up a gap with my skirmishers there in a minute. Photo 3 for Bretonnia. There we go. This is what it looked like after he was done charging me. I took a crap ton of casualties. I threw up my you'll notice the spot up front there. I threw up my champion to get slaughtered in the first round there by the, I think it was the Bretonnian. I think it was either there's a paladin in this unit too. So you got the BSB paladin, and then you got the Lord somewhere. I can't remember if this guy right here in the just after the BSB is there, or if it's this guy over here. I don't really remember, but the I know it wasn't the unit champ that slaughtered my guy. I know it wasn't the unit champ. So I got off light there, and I did take some casualties. I went, so 1, 2, 3, 5 casualties, and I think I was able to do some wounds back. I didn't have time to write any of all this down, so. And then I was able to, so when I retaliated back, I was able to kill one of the Pegasus Knights outright, and I was also able to, do a wound to the other one, so I didn't have to use my stubborn leadership check. And then a gap in my lines opened up, and let's see here, I'm trying to make sense of what happened. I moved around I moved around this fight to go and fight the the knights on foot here, because they had charged me, and then I can't really remember. I think they charged me, or I charged them, and then I pushed them back, and then I hit them with the chariot again, which only had 1 wound left on it, and I kept chasing them with the chariot. And this is where all his wizards were, and I just wanted to get that. I wanted to get my Lord's unit away from his Lord, because one of the things that my orc can't do is fight his Lord. And so use this unit as a buffer, go around and go up like I did to make sure that I get the fight that I want. Use my skirmishers to come over here and mess with his movement one more time. And then, did I keep my wizard somewhere? Yeah, put my wizard there, move my giant up to get... And then, as you can see, that I got my chariot there on the flank, ready to go, so that I can do a double envelopment of his lines with these pesky Pegasus Knights and the Lord unit. This is Hero Hammer at its best, because these guys can solo a lot of Black Orcs, and you're going to run out of them really quick. And I think I had a Plague of Rust off on him, which was allowing me to actually get sneak wounds through. And then the 5th picture here, we were able to kill the Pegasus Knights, overpower them, reform to look. He obviously killed those archers over there. Reform to look at the Pegasus Knights over there, and then kill his Lord's unit, and then we scattered the Foot Knights. And we came out of there to march block that. His kid was... now, I got to give it props to this guy. He had to manage like a 3-year-old boy the entire time. But, I mean, when you want to play some Warhammer, that's how one does. And his kid was just putting out terrorgeists and everything. And sometimes the kid would roll dice, and I'd say that's not fair, using a ringer to roll your dice. But, we had fun. And so, yeah, that's where his Lord ended up, just double charged by these guys. And then... I think he gets out of it. Let's see here. Because this was a really tough game for me. Really tough game. A lot of jockeying for position in this. And then this is what it looked like after the game. His Lord lived. I killed the other Pegasus Knights. Pushed the Foot Knights off of the table. And it was a victory for the Orcs. I think I captured 2 banners. This unit captured 2 banners. And... the other unit of Pegasus Knights, I don't think they had a banner. And my Lord's unit's up there, going after what's left of his wizards and everything. Scattered them, and that's kind of how this game ended. My next game was against Chaos. Oh, it's all down here, and it's in a nice, tidy package. All right. So this is a general overview of the battlefield, of what it looked like just before things got really ugly. Now, his knights were drilled. That's why they're in that weird formation. And so the whole thing, the whole cusp of this game, this second game, was it wasn't really all that bad, and it wasn't really all that good. I did everything I could to get force Plague of Rust through on his knights. Turn 1, shot at him, killed a knight. So I'm off to a really good start. So the second turn I try that again. Plague of Rust goes through, didn't stop it. Shoot the knights, get some wounds through. He saves them. All right. Now on turn 3, or 2 or 3. I've clearly lost my, what do you call it? My archers. So, open that up. I clearly lost my archers over there. Let me move myself real quick. Up there, because this is where the battle's being fought. It's being fought up here in this section where the Demon Prince and the Giant is, and my wizard is. My wizard's in this unit. He did everything he could to bait me out. I didn't take the bait at all. I'm like, you know, whatever. They're there. That's fine. And this is where you can use somebody else's chaff to your advantage. Yeah, go ahead. Put your chaff there. I don't need to move. I actually backed up for 2 turns fighting this army because there was no reason to fight. There was no reason to fight. He's got a lot of nasty stuff. You don't want to go headlong into Chaos Warriors, and fighting Core Knights guys is really kind of given me some insight as to how Chaos works. I've got more games against Chaos than I do against any other opponent right now. So I think it's 3 games of Chaos, 2 games against Tomb Kings, 1 game against Chaos Dwarfs. Battle report coming soon for that. But I finally had to charge. I think I had Plague of Rust through again, and he makes all his saves. Again. And when you have Plague of Rust off on some Chaos Knight units, you need to be downing these guys. And so they're just clinging on to life with every freaking opportunity they get. I think at one point I shot at the Giant, put a wound on him, but I'm backing up. Go ahead, put your stupid wolfhounds in front of me. I'm not even going to charge them. I don't need to charge them. I'm still in a good spot. My guys are on the hill. I don't need to move. That's +1 combat point for me. And it does come in handy too. So I threw the chariot at him. Didn't get him. The ogres don't have a target. I'm still a little bit too far. I backed off my chariot just enough that he can't charge without hitting the Black Orc regiment, which is fine by me. You know, go ahead, hit that regiment. My guy's going to swing first. This guy's going to swing first. And, well, my Black Orc hero's going to swing first. He might actually kill one of the ogres before you get to even swing with one guy. And then you got to hit me on 4s. So that's fine, too. You know, but I don't need to do anything. Now, right here, my flank is somewhat exposed. But I think he ended his turn this way. And so it didn't happen that he came around with the ogres and swung into me from that direction. Now finally the inevitable happened, and before that happened, I had actually hit the Chaos Knights with Plague of Rust. And then I also hit him with a Wind Blast and got both spells through. Nothing the Demon Prince could do about it. And that's why the Demon Prince was over there. And then and I hit him with 6 times with Wind Blast. Get 6 wounds through. And I'm like, oh, this is what I needed. This is it. This is all I needed to tip the game to my favor. And what does that motherfucker do? He makes 6 5+ saves. 6 5+ saves, and at this point, I'm like, that's it right there. That tipped the game into his favor. Anything that I could have done, I wonder if I can zoom in on this a little bit. Anything that I could have done to tip the game in my favor, it's gone right there. I've lost the game at this point. I should have just said good game, but I didn't want to give him full points at all. I did not want to give him full points, so I fought on, as one does in a tournament and everything, and really just kind of did the best I could against the Giant, against his Knights, because his Knights are going to win this. There's nothing I can do to stop his Chaos Knights. Excuse me. Nothing I could do. I did everything I could possible to stifle his units, prolong this fight. You can see my chariot's panicked there. He didn't kill my chariot, but it's running away. And even though I have the high ground, I'm not going to have enough combat power to stop his knights now. His knights are going to hit me. They're going to push through me, and there's really it's just this is where the battle was fought and lost right here. If I had whittled that knight unit down to 2 guys, battle would have stayed in my favor whole way through. But with those knights there on my extreme top flank over there, because this is the battle for the past scenario, yeah, there was nothing I can do, and this is where the game was basically fought and won. It was with magic, shenanigans, chaff and everything, and it just didn't happen. He charged me down here, my Lord's unit, with his Battle Standard Bearers unit and a full unit of Chaos Warriors, and my Orcs, they did pretty good down there. On the side closer to me, I actually did pretty good. I'll come back up here for comments in a sec. Well, actually, I can monitor chat in a minute here. But let's keep going. Let's finish the game 2. Oh, well, this is just a different view before he charged and everything, and just what it looks like up there. As you can see, I've had some casualties bleed off. I rejected a challenge and everything. I only killed one of those stupid Chaos Knights. Let's see here. Oh, I think this is the last picture I have for the Beastmen battle report. So down here, this is just another picture of me fighting his Chaos unit. I won that fight, and I pushed through and went to the ogres, and I killed the ogres. And I also killed the other brick of Chaos Warriors, and the giant survived with 1 wound, and that was kind of the deciding factor between a draw and a loss. And so I lost that game by 213 points. I gave him the hardest fight that I could and everything. The giant was actually able to swing round this and get into the ogres and belly flop on them and stomp them, make them run. And I think this chariot charged and actually cut him down. But I just didn't take as, you have to play and you only got such a limited amount of time. And then my next game was against Beastmen. But we're going to come up to chat for a second here. Move myself back up to where I belong. I'm going to chat. Oh, everybody's just listening to me. What's up, Historical? Hungar, hi, what's up? Fox, Wraith, Cornite's in the house. Just thought I'd say hi, see who's in chat, if you guys are talking. All right, so since you're not talking, I guess we'll drink some of that and go back into this and talk about the last game. And this was the army that I was actually the most frightened of. When I saw the army and I noticed that it had 2 frickin' what do you call it? I don't know what they're called. They're not Gorgons. They're somebody tell me what the name of these monsters are. Oh, God, hold on. Let's just. Piece of. Come on. Oh, of course, my internet's taking a shit now. There it goes. What are those guys called? God, they're the giant monsters that they got. Oh, yeah, they don't have it anymore. They already took them off the site, so I can't remember the name. It's not the Gorgon. It's not the Gorgon. Is it the Gorgon or the Cygord? You'll see him in a second. Let's just get into the folder of photos and take a look, and then somebody can tell me what it is here. So Beastmen Game 1. And this was the those things. You see them right there? See that giant monster over there on the left? Again, I did really good to keep my what do you call it? My formation in that checkered board pattern, keep my battle line together. I took a lot of losses from a Vile Tide. I lost 7 Black Orcs in one spell, and I thought that might be it for me. But my I kind of used this forest to my advantage right here. I put my wizard in the forest so I could see through it. Used that as a bait unit, and then I swapped it with my giant, and I was able to hit him with my giant and destroy his lord's unit, because the first turn, I got like the best possible result. I got to jump up and down and killed 5, and then I killed 4 more with stomps, and he didn't do nothing back to me. I wiped that unit pretty hard in the first one. I got jump up and down and stomp, but that's just hold on. Oh, those are Gorgons. Okay, that's Gorgons. All right, there we go. Let's see here. Game 2 beasts. No, that's not the picture I need. Again, these pictures are a little random. So you notice right there he's missing a unit and everything. So what happened was there was a it's not a Doom Bull, it's a Gore Bull in that unit, and I hit him with my I got a charge off with my Black Orc unit with my big Black Orc unit into his front there, and we trounced him. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling with choppas and everything. We trounced him. I think we killed 8 or 9 out of that first encounter, and then his bull guy flubbed it, didn't do anything back, and then his champion also flubbed it. Then we fought another round of combat. We only lost 1 guy, and then when he lost that round of combat, I think it came down to me having 22 guys in there, and him only having 11 guys for unit strength, and I ran him down and I killed that unit over there on that side, and then I also found out that there's no killing blow against chariots in this edition. If you have Monster Slayer, which the Gorgons do, that doesn't work on chariots. So me chaffing up his Gorgons with the chariot over there was actually kind of hilarious, because we're basically statically tied unless he rolls really good, which, you know, he's flubbing with his combat rolls, and then he can stomp me. But you know, they only get D3 stomps, and I knock on wood for that, because I thought for sure they would have D6 plus 1 stomps like the giant, but no, giant actually being just a little bit better than this guy. Just a little bit. You know, the giant kind of was a MVP of this game, for me at least. His ambushers finally came on, and he killed my chariot. Of course, I got my skirmishers over here. I had moved my wizard out of that unit, and then it was just his lord versus my giant, who went down to 1 wound because his lord was wounding me. His lord was strength 8 because of Eye of the Gods, and strength 8 AP 1 was just whittling me down slowly. But as you can see there, we got rid of all the difficult terrain. We killed there was that 1 skirmisher there. We killed his wizard with a spell. I actually sniped his wizard. I kept throwing in this battle I used Wa magic on him, and that worked out to my advantage because they don't really have any armor, and I wasn't trying to get any extra movement with that the chance to use the pathway spell didn't really come up for me or anything. And then you'll notice that my lord's unit is in the forest, and I had that other fight there. Let's see if I can find a picture of that. I kind of wanted him in the forest with me, because that'll take his initiative down, and my lord gets to swing first. Oh, that's what I did. I fought his other Gorgon over there with my lord. Comes through, doesn't get the initiative bonus. My lord swings first, and I was able to cripple his what do you call it? His other Gorgon with my lord. He went on an assassination run with my lord, and he could only hit my lord on 5s. And of course, he missed all of those times. And since there's more than 5 models, he can't distribute stomps against my lord, so those have to go into the unit. And so it took 2 turns of him taking D3 wounds, because the first time that I did anything, I only did 3 wounds. But that was enough to win the combat. We killed his Gorgon there. We brought my other chariot around. Let's see if I can find the picture there. Yeah, so this is kind of what happened. Giant went there, Gorgon came down here, charged through the forest, tried to do an assassination run on my lord. My lord killed the Gorgon. And do I have the last picture? There's got to be 5 pictures for the Beastmen game. Maybe not. I was able to buffer him away, turn around, get ready to face his... this was the Threshold mission. Yeah, he came down with his Centaurs. We just stayed in the forest, and my lord went over there, killed 3 of them before they even got the swing. I hit him with the chariot, which of course didn't work because he ended up killing that chariot. Turned around, kept my line in good order, kept my wizard over there, put my skirmishers over here to buffer him away. I was able to use some magic and some shooting to kill some of these guys because they don't have any armor. His Minotaurs didn't have any armor. I turned around. The only real casualties I took out of my big unit was from magic spells. And I was just sitting around there in the terrain, and I wasn't rolling any 1s. So, you know, I mean, it might have been dangerous terrain, but who freaking cares if you're not rolling any 1s? I took the gambit, and it paid off for me. And there's still that one lone cuck archer over there. This was a really good game. And this was the army I was actually most terrified of. I didn't want to face this army turn 1 because of all the monster mash, but somehow I prevailed over it. I think I got really lucky because, again, wasn't expecting to hit my lord on 5s because I'm -1 to be hit. You know, and he went for the assassination run, and I was just able to kill him first. So that side just kind of crumbled because my giant went up there and just shellacked his unit. And one thing I would like to do is run 2 giants, you know, because they're kind of nasty. But you know, if you can get 1 into just a normal unit of infantry, like a normal unit of dwarfs or a normal unit of beastmen, or just even a normal unit of skeletons that don't have poison or anything, that giant's going to be there forever, and he doesn't need to do anything. Oh, you do 1, I can hold you up for 6 turns. Let's say you got 40 skeletons, and I'm able to bring down my club on your character or something like that, and there's nothing you can do there. Yeah, giants pretty much for the win there. And this was basically the last shot I took of the game. I lost a chariot, lost some orcs. I get these guys, and I think I killed 1. I think somehow these guys must have swung back. The archers down there fighting the Minotaurs, they got killed and eaten, and then I think I hit them with another spell, killed 1 more of these Minotaurs, and that was game, set, match. He approached his threshold, which he had to come down to because of unit strength and the way it works. It was a weird number, but this is where it ended, and that's how the tournament went. There was one guy who, the winner of the tournament was Vampire Counts, and it was a Scream list, and I was being warned about the Scream list from Coronite Care Bear. Beware the Scream list, and that is what won, was the Scream list, because apparently you just roll 2d6 -2 against somebody's leadership, and I don't know how I would have done against that army, but that army did play this army before. It did play this army before I played it, and the Vampire Count, even if I had beaten the Vampire Count's player, I wouldn't have won because he tabled the Beastmen army and got like 2,400 points from it. And that's basically my first tournament. Now I feel like I'm a little bit better at playing the game. The guy who won said that he's holding a tournament at Gajo, and said that he's holding a tournament at Gajo, and I might show up Saturday for that tournament, maybe. And I'm just not sure. But, you know, I kind of want to play and I have a better understanding. I might bring this same exact list. I had another list with double Wyverns that I wanted to check out, but I don't see any point to doing that. I say keep playing the same army, and then maybe I find a different way to modify it or a slightly different army. Yeah, I was lucky. I avoided the Vampire Scream list. Yeah, that's what won. So kind of a game set match there on that thing. So let's see, what else am I supposed to talk about? Yep, that was it. My tournament list, and so my thoughts on the tournament. Yeah, I had fun. I think the rounds were a little bit too long. I think the rounds should have been 2 hours, but this is where I give ground on on that subject. It is a new game, and people need to, and it is vaguely written. I sat down, and what I did to ultimately kind of just be ready for the tournament was I just started writing down rules in a notebook, and I had like probably 40 pages of handwritten notes that I had taken. The day, 2 days out of that week, I just sat down and wrote down rules. I have the notebook over there, but it's not really worth getting. And so I'll review those notes, make some more notes, and then be ready for some more games. You know, because again, like both the 30K books and the Old World books, their layout is really crappy. It's a crummy layout. I wish I wish the layout on those books was a lot better. Like, here's where all the guns are. Yeah, I understand that. But, like, then you've got guns, then you've got special rules, and then you have special rules before you have guns. Kind of layout really sucks in the 30K books. And then in the fantasy book, you have... Hold on, I actually will have to get it for a second. Want to give a shout out to my buddy GM James, who's also in the chat. What's up, DM James? How you doing? So let's see here. So I start off in the movement phase. Yeah, one thing I had trouble doing was remembering the strategy phase. That everybody was for one. That's one thing I noticed about the tournament there. Was remembering. Everybody had to go back for a second and just remember to do their strategy phase and cast those spells. And I want to thank everybody who helped me, and I also helped. And he's like, oh, when my opponent told me, oh, I forgot the strategy phase. I'm like, go ahead and take it. You know, I mean. A lot of times it was people would move one unit and then they would remember their strategy phase, but we were always careful to use the strategy phase. Like, okay, I didn't move my wizard unit yet. Sorry about that. Okay, go into your strategy phase, cast the spells that you're gonna try to cast. Nobody was a dick about that because everybody forgot it. So one of the rules that came up and really helped me out a few times because of, I mentioned about keeping the checkerboard pattern and keeping my battle line in order. What's up, Rodolfo? keeping my battle line in order was the accidental contact rule. So what you can actually kind of use that to your advantage. So what happens? And again, I'm sorry because I did this wrong in another game, a friendly game against Knight, because again the book layout is really bad. So accidental contact during a push pull, if a unit is contacted and not already engaged in CQC, the unit in question can also give ground. So I actually use that giving ground thing to my advantage. So they would basically accidental contact when you run into the foe. What did I write there? Okay, I can't even read what I wrote. Oh, that's a different one. So, let me just go to the page. God damn it. This is last thing. Last thing I wanted to talk about, because I was actually going to turn those pages into little notes. So the accidental combat. Commit to combat by aligning against the enemy that made accidental contact with neither unit counting as having charged, but both fight in initiative order. All right, so you basically, you come in and you align as if you had done a fresh charge, and then before anything happens, because you don't fight when that happens, because usually it's like an overrun or anything, and if you're not in combat, you don't charge. So basically what would happen is I would get accidentally charged, and then I would just give ground 2 inches, and that would end out their turn. So I would actually take the advantage of that, and I would charge back into combat and get my Black Orcs up to initiative 4 with that 1 inch of extra movement there. And that was kind of saving me. And then there was... if a charging unit is able to wheel to avoid and complete a charge, it should. This is not possible in doing so and will cause a failed charge, and the charging unit has 2 options. It can halt the charge or continue ahead. So you can halt the charge 1 inch away if you can't get around another unit, and then a halted charge is not a failed charge. That's a weird one. This is where it gets wordy, and then continuing ahead. And that's where it says, if you get into contact a fleeing unit, it'll align as normal. The fleeing unit is considered to have been run down, and the unit is immediately removed from play. That's just if you're wheeling around another unit. It's kind of weird. But there were the... So the pages 134, 135, all the way up to 142. Is it 142? Yep. 142 to 143. To 158 all the way up to 161. Those pages and the way they're laid out are just, they're kind of terrible. And I wish they had condensed everything that was said on across those pages onto like 1 page or something in the back of the book, and that was another gripe that I had. Well, other than that, all in all, I think I had a really good tournament and everything. Do you guys have any questions for me about the tournament? I mean, I'm here for you. I want you guys to talk to me when I do these shows and everything. So feel free to throw some questions out there. As for what's new in the news is I saw a couple of different videos I might comment about. Was I guess Games Workshop is ending Warcry, and then the butt clappers back complaining about Games Workshop price increases, as if that was anything new. There's an annual price hike. You know what's funny is that there are some people out there you know, who are like, okay, don't be a welfare case, and wargaming isn't a human right, and that's kind of like where I fall in. You know, it's not a human right, but you know, like the entitlement of some of these UK people, you know, it's just like it's a human right. I have every right to play. The government should give me money to play Warhammer. It's not fair. There's a lot of people out there like that. It's not fair. I should be able to play all the Warhammer I want on government money. The government should really do something. So, in other news, Rumble, I'm probably going to choose to do some live streams with movies. So as long as I can stream a movie, and as long as the video goes private, I actually get away with streaming the movie on Rumble. So there's some actual hope there that we can sit down and have movie night where I host different horror films. I just have to select ones that don't have a crap ton of nudity. I think that's what you might get flagged for on Rumble. I haven't figured out all the rules, but I watched where I'm getting this idea from on Rumble was I watched Sleazy P Martini. He streamed Fright Night, and the copyright police haven't come after him. So you know, I mean, that is definitely in the works. The original Fright Night is actually a really good movie. It's got that kid in it from Adventures in Babysitting. Well, you know, 80s movies, weren't they just funner back then? Like, has anybody ever seen it with Elizabeth Shue, Adventures in Babysitting? You know, I mean, we had fun in the 80s. That's all I'm going to say there. So, the grind continues as usual here, and I have at least done a little bit of work in between here and the tournament. I came down Sunday morning, and I cleaned the office. The desk is nice and clean. I organized my projects. I got all the paint crap basically picked up after myself. I dusted in here, and now I've just got open boxes over there. I have to clean that portion of the room. This portion of the room is clean. So okay. We're going to get into some Bretonnians, and I guess we'll finish out the show here. Might be a shorter show today. Oh, that's over here on the control panel. Okay. Thing looks good. We get rid of display capture. And oh, here we are. Okay, so we have started Errant Knights. And, you know, I noticed that I hate painting these guys. I hate these guys. They, like, don't go away. I hate them. But you need them. You freaking need them. You can get these guys up to leadership 10. God, I hate them. And I've got so many peasants left to do. That's the only problem. That's the only thing that's bogging me down in my hobby time. Other than that, I got this for my Imperial Fists. I'm gonna get one more of these. The other one's gonna have the las cannons, and I think they both might. I'm gonna run this one as las cannons, but I'm gonna get one more of these for my Imperial Fists because I noticed a pattern during a series of battle reports that I filmed with Mechanicum is that I'm not getting off the line, and I am going to post the battle report, but you know, I'm just not happy when I'm doing my what do you call it? When I'm doing my wrap-ups from the turn caps and everything, I'm just not happy. Like one game, I literally lost 1,325 points off of the fucking line, and I just like, are you kidding me? 1325 dead by my turn one. So it's like, not only do I not get to participate in the game, if I make a battle report about it, you know, you already know where the game's gonna go, which, you know, it happens, but that, I mean, like, how do you, what I need is some advice on how do you play through that, and what the fuck do you do when it happens? You know, I could use some major advice right there, all right? Yeah, I got no words for that. Like, in a 2,500 point game, what is that? I can't think. I know the number, but I don't know what the multiplication is off the top of my head. Okay. That's 53% of your army destroyed in a single turn. Nothing you can do about it. Do not pass go. Do not. God damn. Yeah, that's 53%. If I did the, yeah, I think they did the math right. Wow. 53% of your army's destroyed before you even get to take a turn. It's like, what do you, I want to know what you guys would do. Do you just re-rack and try again at that point? I mean, I think that's probably the most, I mean, from where I sit, that's like the most sane thing to do, is just re-rack and start again. You know, and that's how some 30K games went out there. So we got Wraith coming in here. The tournament was 8 people. From what it looked like online for a moment, it looked like it was going to be more than that, but 8 people showed up. I'll take that. You know, I mean, at least there's some people out there playing fantasy. Brits can make a better Empire army than the Empire army. I doubt that. One thing I've noticed online is that I haven't seen a lot of Empire battle reports. Maybe I'm not looking for them. But the one thing that I noticed in the one that I did watch with Mini Wargaming is that you want to bring those Hippogriff Knights. You know, and the game, the one thing I do like about the game is that it doesn't really favor a lot of shooting. A lot of the weapons are ponderous or move and shoot. You know, a lot of times you're just going to be hitting on 5s, you know. So, I mean, I don't know. I would like to sit down and try my Empire army. The only problem is I'm kind of demented up in the thinking meat right now, and I'm not able to grasp all the concepts for all the armies just yet. You know, I haven't mastered the game with one army, which is what I'm still setting out to do with my Orcs and Goblins. I have not yet mastered doing that, but, you know, I'm just, on that note, I mean, the guy, on the Bretonnian game, I failed to mention during the battle report, summation area of that, is that his first cannon did shoot at me, and it destroyed itself. His second cannon, when it shot at me again, I think it missed. He bounced over me. It was complete bounce over me. I think he needed to hit the unit with his. So you get your first bounce, and I think this is how cannons work. He bounced, but then he rolled a 10, and it bounced right at the very end of my unit and just hit one guy and didn't kill him. No, I think it did kill him. It killed one guy. It bounced right the second bounce landed specifically on a guy. So it wasn't it was a little bit hit or miss, because that cannon could have shredded my ranks. It did have a lot of shots on my Lord's unit at the end of the game, where it was flank shots, and he kept rolling. I think a couple of times he rolled a 10 and just bounced it off of the head of one guy and killed him, because you got your way that you're ranked up. So you have your bounce, and then let's say this is where the unit is. You got a couple extra guys there. You know, boom. Here's all your guys. He bounces. Oh, no, he got a 10, and then he has to put it here, and then he bounces through and kills 2 guys. And I think that's how cannons work. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that happened quite a few times to him with the cannon, because the cannon is random. All war machines are random. The only I do think that this is kind of the addition for the stone throwers. The template weapons seem to be pretty solid. You know, I'm working around. One thing I am gonna buy is this. Let's just get on eBay real quick and do a little window shopping, because I'm not feeling the whole painting bug. I've been ground down a little bit. Hold up here. And just go back into display capture real quick. Yeah, I was going to pull the trigger on this. I figured, what is that? I wonder what shipping is. 402, what is that? Roughly $24 for a, what do you call it? A 3D printed stone thrower. I'll just use the troll as my the 3 wounds on my on my thing because I don't like the look. Orcs don't have beards, so I'm not going to use these two models. But you know, I mean, I'm kind of still on the soft mode of boycotting Games Workshop a little bit. You know, no reason to go and spend like $75 for a stone thrower that you can't even get because of scalpers and everything. So I'm going to go the 3D printed route on on my stone throwers because one, again, nobody ever looks at your what do you call it, war machines during a painting competition anyway. You know, they're going to be in back. You know, so yeah, I was going to go that route. This works. Yeah, this is fine. This will work just fine. Got a small troll to load it up. Yeah, this works. I don't really give a shit past that. All right, so let's get into it here. Just in case we have, we are going to need this. We'll do some decal work too. I even organized all my extra. I had so much fucking clutter over here. It wasn't even funny. One thing that I got to do before I move on and do this is that I got to get these decnals onto the champion here. So this is the champion of the unit. Nothing special. I'm going for a darker color tone on these guys because I need to get these 9 knights done. So my goal for this weekend is to have 5 completely done in the other room away from here. That's it. I'm not putting ridiculous. And if I happen to get one more of these douchebags done, I'll be happy. Because that'll be 20 of them, which is enough for right now. But I am going to need all 36 and everything. But let's do some decnals to warm up here. What army am I making for Bretonnia? Just another classic take on Bretonnia themselves. Nothing too flashy or special. This is the I'll go into the Baron's War Host real quick while we wait for the first decnal. All right. With their hippin' and their hoppin' and their bippin' and their boppin'. All right, so this is officially going to be my Bretonnian army to start out. Just a very simple 2,000 point army, nothing special. We're starting off with let's just do the game view. We're starting off with the Bretonnian Duke. He's got a lance, heavy armor, shield, general, royal Pegasus, Gromwell Great Helm, Paymaster's Coin, Virtue of Heroism. What's that one do? Killing Blow and Monster Slayer. And because of the Grail Vow, I believe his attacks are magical. Immune to Psychology. Stubborn. Oh, God. Starts with the Blessing of the Lady. And with the... so, yeah, this whole guy is a Monster Slayer. So if you got a Gorgon, if you've got a... what do you call it, a necrosphinx or a dude on a zombie dragon, my Bretonnian lord will undoubtedly have your fucking number. And that's why I gave him the Paymaster's coin, so that when I attack you, I will hit you, because most of the time I'm only going to need 3s. And this is just the added security. If I need to hit you on 4s because your weapon skill 7 as well, yeah, I'm going to re-roll to hit you in that first round of combat because I'll be using the Paymaster's coin. Gromwheel Great Helm will give him a 2+ save, re-rolling 1s. That's pretty standard because you get the heavy armor, you get the barding, and you get the shield, and then you get the Gromwheel Great Helm. So that's 2+ save. And then we got a damsel, and let's see here, just level 2. She's got 2 Dispel Scrolls. There you go. And she's on a horse. And she's got the magic resistance too. But that's why I'm bringing, that's going to be annoying. 2 Dispel Scrolls on a damsel. Oh, there's a spell that's going to come out. Okay, well, it's gone. I'm throwing 3d6 plus 2 at it. All right, then we got a paladin. Is this my BSB? Yes, this is the battle standard bearer. He's got the Sword of Might, the Virtue of the Idea. Why did I give him that? What was that one? Duke Paladin only, +1 modifier to weapon skill and initiative. You can't be the army's general because because this is just a little bit better because it'll make him weapon skill 7, which makes him way harder to hit, to a certain extent. I like weapon skill 7. That's better than 6. He's initiative 4, 3 attacks. Plus he'll be initiative 5, which is actually pretty good. Nothing special on this guy. Maybe I'll put that 45 points somewhere else. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas in the chats. And then coming down here, we got another paladin. He's on a war horse, and he's got the Virtue of the Joust. Reroll failed wound rolls. Maybe I trade that out and give him a Paymaster's coin as well. And I have the points for that too, so I can squeeze the points in. Next up in core, we got 5 mounted Knights of the Realm, and they've got the full command. After that, we got 6 Knights of the Realm. They've got a full command. After that, we got 9 Errant Knights, full command, and no chicanery there. Just a full unit of Errant Knights. Then we got 18 Men-at-Arms, 12 Peasant Bowmen, 3 Pegasus Knights, all of them with the first knight, and then another unit of 3 Pegasus Knights, and then finally in rare we have 5 Grail Knights. I think this is the Damsels unit. And maybe we trade the virtues around, and we find some points to maybe... Yeah, this second, I think this paladin here, right here, this paladin is actually supposed, so I'll have the points for this. I have to get rid of 1 Errant Knight. It should be technically 8 Errant Knights instead of 9, but I am going to paint 9. I have 9 ready to paint, and I got to get through some of these first units. Both units of Knights of the Realm, they're done. They're done being painted. Both units of Pegasus Knights are done being painted. So if I get through these, all of my Knights that I need are painted, with exception to my Grail Knights. And I can start on my Grail Knights and just kind of get them out of the way, get the Grail Knights out of the way, because they're going to be very labor intensive with the way that I'm going to do them. And let's see here. We'll go back. And then I'll take your comments in a second. For some reason, that one little cup of water I had went through me. I've got to excuse myself for a second and go to the bathroom. I apologize, gentlemen. Usually I'm able to make it like 2 hours and some change. Like I'm able to sit here as an adult. We're barely an hour into the stream and I have to go to the bathroom. Frickin' A. So, oh, this is ready. Let me do this real quick here. I always like doing these. These are... Bam! That does add a new level. It's what sucks is that they do not make the old ones. There's a China company out there making the old ones. I think I want to do the old deck mills for the Grail Knights and everything. But yeah, let's hurry up and get some of these done. I forgot all about that. The task at hand here, and then we're gonna put the texture paint on him, and he's gonna go over there. Like I said, I want to have 5 done. Get through that. Get down to maybe getting 4 done next week. Have this entire unit just out of my way. Woofu Games Workshop. Woofu Workshop now. Okay, so I'll have to look into what that is. Yeah. There's just, with the war machines and everything and the costs on everything, and not being able to buy anything because again, Games Workshop doesn't want to focus on production, distribution, and customer service, making it so you can't get the miniatures even if you wanted them. Yeah, I'm going to embrace my my inner 3D printer side, and it's just a couple of stone throwers. I don't, I'm probably not going to buy anything else this year because I just got hit with the big old double whammy. Fuck. All at once. I think the total was I for the month of for this month I paid $2,257 in bills. So I paid all of my insurance costs for 6 months. I paid all of my that's car. It's supposed to be bundled. I have like an insurance bundle that I'm supposed to pay on. So like, how much of that was insurance? I'm not happy, but I was prepared for it. I was ready. I knew this bill was coming. So let me see here. Yeah, it was like $736 in insurance. I was not happy about that, but hey, one does. And then at the same time, I paid for mortgage. I paid for my HOA, which went up $50 again. But at least we didn't get a special assessment. Everybody like told the what do you call it? HOA company, not the HOA itself, but the company that manages. You can go yourself. We are not giving you 1 red cent of assessment money until we are sitting in our pool that was supposed to be fixed a year ago. Ah, no. Get the stick. Bam. Second one. These kind of go on like butter. I don't mind these. I call it the lazy man deck null. You do some decals and then it's, what do you call it? You actually look like you know what you're doing because all of the one advantage to doing the decals is all of the sight goes there. Boom. You don't look anywhere else. So, I mean, you can paint something very mediocre the way that I did for my Bretonnians, and then all the sight's going to be drawn right to the decals. I'm doing dark gray and dark blue. And then I have some gold, some metal, Some of the faces are painted. Oh boy, you know, I mean, but I got to get through this project. Otherwise, I'm never going to be able to use this army. And I have decided, like, I am going to bite the bullet and make a specific 6th edition Bretonnian army for myself that'll be on traditional bases. And I don't think that'll come for a while, but I am going to take full advantage of this while the models are out, because I am not going to miss an opportunity if they get rid of Old World again. Okay, so there's a place in the UK called Woofu Workshop, and they make good resin 3D prints. Okay, thank you for the tip. Boomer Bladder, what the hell? Probably. Okay, so I will say this to some of the younger people out there who are watching the stream. I'm in a Bill Cosby mood. Who are watching the stream, sometimes when you get above the age of 30 something else, you end up being a little bit of sad. You have your sad moments. One sad moment for me is I wake up and I have to go to the bathroom, and I don't even stand to pee anymore. I just sit there on the toilet, defeated, and that is the first time I go to the bathroom. But the second time, I stand. But the first time I get out of the bed and I have to immediately go to the bathroom, and I'm so tired. I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I have to go to the bathrooms, and I just put my butt on the toilet and I sit there like this. Kind of like a xenomorph waiting to come up off of the wall. There you go. Ah. Flip. And it will happen to you. That's all I'm going to say. You younger guys out there, it'll happen to you. Boomer bladder. That way I can walk my fat ass past. Now, one of the keys to this is you want it stiff and you want it wet. You don't want your brush too wet. You want to be able to pull this up like that, and then get behind it. You got to get behind it. Just like that. And then you're the last one. Then we're going to get just a smidge of that out. You always want to put a little bit of white glue on them. And a little bit goes a long way. Another, what do you call it, person who's 3D printing up in Canada is, of course, he's a sponsor of the channel, was Celtic Miniatures. I believe the link is in the description below for Celtic Miniatures, and the mummies that he's come out with are pretty good. I've got to, when I get paid, I'm going to back his project. I got paid this week, and all of my paycheck went to bills. So, you know, I mean, you know, I just like I'll be sitting here when I get paid. I am going to back his project on Kickstarter and get myself some of those mummies. I don't know what I'll use them for, but they do look like the old school Hero Quest mummies, and I'm just a fan of that, you know. What's that called? Hold on here. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Oh, that goes there. All right, now we can start with the glue. And just a smidge of glue will do you. A little bit of water. You don't even need that much glue. You just need a little bit. We'll use a smaller brush though. And then you kind of just go back over and you trace it real quick. And like I said, just a little bit will do you. There is a specific glue for this, but just a watered down Elmer's like I use. It's not bad. And then of course you're going to clear coat the miniature. One advantage I have with that light is I can see if I've done it, and I haven't done it to this guy. I know I did it to that guy, but that's why you keep it kind of thin. You pick up. Very rarely do I have to touch up around it. You don't. But that's why I kept the colors dark rather than bright. And then when you're done, you can just peel it out of there. All right. So the first color up in our queue, I just want to start with the get all of that over there. I'm going to stay organized for once, is our Overlord Gray. Give all paints a good shake there. 8. I don't think we'll need more than 8, but that's why I got him out, because, again, when you're working with, what do you call it? When you are working with contrast, you want to overlap and you don't want to waste any drops. Well, let's start off here. For once, I actually got a decent camera angle. That's always intentional, yeah. And this is again why you want to overlap, because if you get too much, you can just start on the other guy real quick. Pick that up and put that there for a second. Just do another full field. I always like to settle it very deeply in here. For whatever reason, I always miss this one little portion of every horse for some reason. And you just want to make sure you have good coverage with the speed paint. And then I do the horse flesh next. We'll pick it back up where it got too heavy. You can let it get heavy in the cracks and everything. But this is what I like to call the easy part. But we don't, again, you always want to minimize waste. We got to do the other side. The cool side of the horse. Get my footstool. Uh-huh. I forgot this guy's head, but we got the head for this horse right here. Need some drops of the good stuff here. 2, 3. 3 ought to do it. We'll do 4. Okay, that's enough. God, it's a bit of a squirter, isn't it? You always have to change for the head. Change brush sizes. Now these guys, my Errant Knights aren't going to have a lot of gold on them. I went a little bit gold heavy on the champion, on the, what, I wonder what that guy's called again. Oh, I don't have it up. The Gallant, I think he used to be called. Let's get that horse's head real quick because we still just have enough to do real quick. And then one way I can cheat real quick so I don't have to wait for the, what do you call it, to dry? The contrast to dry entirely. His horse is going to be black. Whereas I've already decided that the other horse will be brown. But it's good to put it's good to put a variety in there, you know, so black. So there's cavalry red, there's beastie brown, there's blacks, there's going to be no grays because the Bardine's gray. But that's not to say that that might not change. I still haven't decided on the full scheme for my Grail Knights. I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to go out and see the Transformers 40th anniversary. think after the financial tongue lashing I just got, I think I'd rather just... Oh, of course. Dumbass. This can be gray. Alright, we'll keep that there. That will work. And we'll take all this and we'll just start making this all black. And you want to get this black everywhere. Even on the chainmail. You'll go see it for me? All right. Yeah, I'll expect a full movie review for that, you know. I mean, we already know what's going to happen, but damn, you know, I can't think of anything better to do, but I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to take my niece to it, to show her how great the Transformers were. My nephew, he's like, oh, it's probably about a bunch of things with superpowers. Superpowers are gay. And I'm like, what's the difference between having superpowers and being a wizard? Well, there's lots of differences. You know, I'm like, couldn't you cast a spell to summon a golem that's super strong? Is that not the same as having superhuman strength? Well, no, shut up, that's why. You know, freaking having a debate with a 12-year-old. And I don't blame kids these days. You know, they have terrible cartoons like Gravity Falls. All of their cartoons suck. You know, give me Bubble Bass from. I mean, I'm afraid that's who my nephew might turn into. He might turn into Bubble Bass. Bubble Bass. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right there. Bam. Yeah, I could save a crap ton of time just by making this black. One thing I will say about, like, if I were to do a review with Transformers the movie is the soundtrack is amazing. Vince DiCola did the scoring for it, and he did the scoring for Rocky 4. And then you got Stan Bush. Like, the entire... There's that song called Instruments of Destruction. It's got to be one of the most metal frickin' songs on the face of the planet. I'm doing good, CJ Wargaming. It's nice to see you. You'll have to go through. I went to a tournament. I did a whole little cap of the tournament. You'll have to go back and watch from the beginning. Yeah, you are just. Oh God, it did go by. So, yeah, the Transformers movie has one amazing soundtrack. You even got "Dare to Be Stupid" by Weird Al Yankovic. Weird Al Yankovic was making fun of Devo in that song. I think "Dare to Be Stupid." What a genius Weird Al was. You know I'm fat, I'm really, really fat. When I go out to get the mail, it measures on the Richter scale. Ask me who's fat. I go out to get the mail. It measures on the Richter scale. And I've never seen my toes. I'm going to let those just dry off for a second. Let's get this blue out. Three ought to do me. But the problem is, if I go out and see a movie, I know for one, I know one indisputable thing: I'm not getting this shit done today. I want to know how many other grown men are in my predicament right now, just not wanting to go out and go to this movie because you know you're a weird. I mean, this is all we have, literally. You know, it's not like there were any good women to grow up and create good time, to basically grow up, marry, and create good times with. I mean, the women in our generation are absolute garbage, and I can prove this. I can prove this. I can prove it with a movie review of Pretty Woman. It's got to be the most delusional, convoluted, like female power fantasy on the face of the planet. Here you are, a hooker, all right? You're a freaking hooker of all things. And you get in a car, you get in like a Ferrari with a, what do you call it? A multi-millionaire. And I'm not talking like a guy who's worth like $5 million paying a hooker. I'm talking somebody who has like the net worth of maybe... This guy's net worth had to have been north of 500 million, adjusting for inflation today. I mean, he had to be the upper echelon. Like by the time he was born, he was probably worth 20 million, kind of silver spoon. Like we're talking old money, you know. So she's a hooker. She hooks up with this guy at the end, and I want you to think about this. What millionaire dude like that? What top tier dude is going to pay full price for a busted wizard sleeve? That doesn't happen. He's going to pay full price. I mean, nobody paid full price for Riley Reid. She's making like ho-hum, bo-hum movies. Nobody will marry me when you're a Google search away from being on a couch with 5 black guys. You know, your value, no matter how physically attractive you have, is literally severed down from. Let's say if you, usually 10s don't do porn. Let that sink in. If you're a woman and you're a 10, I mean, I think that we what do you call it? don't rate. I think we rate women on a scale of 1 to 10 way too nicely. Always remember, if a woman's an actual physical 10, they don't have to do porn. I've never seen a 10 do porn. End of story. A lot of pretty girls, you know, they're happy to get naked for the camera, but like true 10s, like I'm talking Allison Dooley from Raiders of the Lost, from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, never do 10s. But, you know, he's paying full price for something that she was selling on the streets, you know? Full price. He's paying full price for that. That would never happen in the real world. That would never happen. Because you have all these women today crying that these ex-porn stars crying that nobody will marry me. I mean, it used to be like, I could understand, like, you did porn in the Valley back when the fees were probably higher and you only did one movie maybe and nobody knew your name, and then you got your big break. That was the case for some girls. You did, hell, it was even like the case for Sylvester Stallone. I think he did an X-rated movie at some point in his career, back in his New York days after Rocky 1, I think it, or before Rocky 1. It's different. You get, you know, now you have the internet. You don't have some tape in a dusty old box somewhere. That's the difference between today and yesterday. Yes, okay, so let's say you're a chick, you did one film back in '87 that nobody ever saw. And that paid the bills until you got your first job, which was being a recurring guest on a soap. And then you worked your way up from being a recurring guest on a soap to actually landing commercials and a regular spot on, let's say you took any role. You're a regular spot on a show like a sitcom. You got a regular spot on a sitcom, but you're not there all the time. And then you move up from there to landing a co-starring spot on a sitcom. And then maybe doing B movie after B movie after B movie after B movie. Dude, yeah, it is a classic. You know, I mean, they never should have made the movie the way they killed Optimus Prime off, like shocked everybody. And Hasbro, I think, got over 1 million letters about that shit. And parents started to complain because they wanted to know why all their children were crying in the movie over a character that the parents knew nothing about. The light leaving there. Yeah, we'll watch. No, I can't do it. I'm on YouTube, so we can't watch shit. We can't watch shit. You get the copyrights from PrudeTube. Yeah, I don't want to have more than like 20 paint pots out at a time anymore. I want to stay organized and clean. Yeah, I'm on team Decepticon too. You know what I'd like to see is a Decepticon invasion of a Forge world where they beat the shit out of a bunch of Space Marines, you know, and then you have people who are like, Decepticons couldn't survive in the 40k universe. The 40k universe is turned up to 11. It's an 11, and I'm like, you know, I'd hate to have to break the bubble of most of these like fanboys out there, but the Decepticons could not only survive, they probably thrive because, you know, one, most Decepticons are standing about an average height of 21 feet tall. All right. They're all flight capable, and they're packing more firepower than an entire platoon of Marines. All right. And then not to mention, you know, like the biggest Warhound Titan isn't even as big as Devastator when he's in his full form. It's not as big as Devastator, and Devastator probably has a more powerful gun. And then if like what? Oh, there's a Land Raider. What's his name? Transforms into his gun mode and blows up the Land Raider. No fucking problem. Yeah, it'd be quite a problem. And I'm not even like counting like just some of the more independent, more powerful Decepticons like Six Shot. I've read some of the comics. Six Shot's like really fucking cool. I'm surprised he wasn't the leader of the Decepticons. That, I mean, that would have been something, you know, you could have written in. I think you could have written in after, like, let's say, you know, that would have been a good choice. You know, instead of Galvatron, you have Six Shot. That would have been awesome. I think Six Shot turns into 6 different robots. Okay, he turns into a robot, a tank, a spaceship, a gun, an off-road vehicle, and a winged wolf. Shit. And Six Shot actually killed Ultra Magnus in a straight-up fight. I think it is. Yeah, it was Six Shot in the comic books and in the series who finished off Ultra Magnus. I don't have any of those comics left, by the way. But that's okay. Well, all right. I think we're winding down here and coming to the end of things. I want to thank everybody for showing up today and everything. Just number one. But let's see what else. What else could? Ooh, shit. We didn't. This guy's got fabric on his arms. Gonna get out a little more blue. You always kind of want to make sure you finish all your colors. That's for certain. Now, the easiest thing to do now is kind of work from the inside out. So we'll take a little bit of this, Bugman's, and we'll get a dash on his face, and then we'll do his helmet here. And you can work them all the way down. That works out just fine. We'll get a little bit of metal. Just a dot will do ya. Work away from his face. I'd like to see the theories on that. Empire. Soundwave the GOAT. Soundwave was the shit. All of it. I mean, how do you have a cooler name than that? Soundwave, Operation Reconnaissance. Do as I command. Affirmative, Megatron. Actually, I really liked Rumble, which was also voiced by Frank Welker. You want to rumble with Rumble? He was like the punk ass he was like the punk ass member of the Decepticons. They did make a better movie back then, I'll tell you that much. Let's see, we'll get a little bit of Prussian. Like I said, we're doing dark blue. Just gonna do a little. I at least want to finish this guy's head. Just a drop will do me. Ah. Well, got it done, and only one little itty bitty fuck up, so I'll take that. All right, let's get that done. Do his full head here. I can't really see his eyes, so I'm not going to worry about them. Still need that. That, and then won't need that. We can trade that out for, where is it? For dwarf flesh. Just need another little dollop of metal because we fucked up again. I don't think you're even going to need a lot. There's yeah, and that's about it. I can't really decipher much more of that face there. Get your gray out. Gray, metal, and blue, and then we'll work it down. I don't know what color I'm going to make his horn, but we can make his horn a nice Balthazar gold. All that back. I think Soundwave was Frank Welker as well. Yeah, a lot of voices on Frank Welker. Anyway, that's about it for the stream. Give a special shout out to the sponsors of the show here, as one does. I'd like to thank John K, Andrew C, Lady Quickblood 35, Moon Bad, Bobbas D, Craig B, Jimmy M, Drac Wizard, James C, Macy J, Tipsy Thomas, Cornite Care Bear, The King of Salt, and Soulblighter, James B, Wallach, Michael W, and Christian M, AfterPrinceDark.net, and Celtic Miniatures, Randy the Axeman, and in closing today, I think the moving forward, the new start time for the show is probably going to be about 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time, and I think that will work out a lot better for my schedule. It'll free up my day because noon to 2 is just too much of my day. I think I need that time distributed towards something else. Noon to 2 is just a little bit too hard for me. I'd like to be coming off of the show right about now, I think. So I think 9:30 a.m., so it'll be a little bit earlier for you guys over in the UK, and it will also be a little bit earlier for you guys out on the Florida side of the United States, like the Southerners of, like some of the Southerners out there who watch me. James Gang being in Florida, some of the New Yorkers. I know there's a couple guys who watch in New York. But yeah, I think going forward it'll be 9:30 a.m. Standard Mountain Time. I'll even change it on the presets and the about and everything. Oh, thanks for watching, Wraith. And then if you don't see me next Saturday, it means I went to the tournament. If you see me next Saturday, it means I got lazy and stayed in. So I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to go to a second tournament. I think that I have to, but at the same time, every time I miss a Saturday or every time I'm not home painting on Saturday, if I'm getting ready for a tournament, I have no time to paint. Like last week, I was studying the rule book for an hour and a half every single night. So that cuts into me having to read rules cuts into my paint time. Me having to write shows cuts into my paint time. And me having to edit videos also cuts into my paint time. So I need to find I think what I need to do is I need to work and get my paint load lifted a little bit. Because, if I had the money, I'd send some of the peasants out to get commission painted. But right now, I don't have the money. So I've got to get some. I think the next show will probably be me showcasing some of the things I might sell and get rid of, and you can hold on that for a minute. I do have it. Some of the stuff that I'm looking at getting rid of would be the Ogre Kingdoms, the Bolt Action Marines, a Spartan Army, 100 Years War English Cavalry Division, my Horde Scorn faction, I have some extra Kings of War Undead stuff that I don't want, and then maybe a Raw Partha Dracolich and about 40 Macedonians. My Lord of the Rings collection, maybe. There's just some stuff that I think I need to cut back on. Maybe get some money, put that money somewhere else, get the new computer going, maybe get some extra terrain, some extra camera bits. This what do you call it? UHB port. What hub that I have has had it. The lights don't even work on it anymore. It's just a matter of time before that thing stops working. But that might be the next show. I know I need to sit down and write another Holy Diver show. I actually have a few things that I could talk about, and then a showcase. What do you need? What do you want me to showcase? Tell me now, because you got a few seconds here. I'll take a drink and wait for you. And you're welcome, Historical Doppelganger. Thanks for coming in. As for Rumble stuff, I think I want to hit up a movie night, go back to HD's Night at the Movies, where I showcase and host a horror movie. And I think I want to do that twice monthly over there on Rumble. I've got to get some battle reports out. I'm just lagging behind on everything. I'm busy at work. I'm busy with my first hobby, kickboxing, so the whole reason I'm mentioning this on YouTube is for some of my fans, they might want to own a piece of Holy Diver history. For me, it's just I would like to circumvent eBay because there's just way too much crap on eBay. It is way too crowded on eBay. So this is me using my bully pulpit. Just a little bit to say, hey, I've got some stuff that I wouldn't mind getting rid of. Make me a reasonable offer. Unfortunately, you are going to have to pay the full cost of shipping because shipping has gotten ridiculous. But I'm willing to work with you if you're willing to work with me, kind of thing. So let me just cap over again what I just said, and we'll end the show. So Ogre Kingdoms, Bolt Action, Spartan Army, 100 Years War English Cavalry, Horde, Scorn faction, Kings of War Undead stuff. It's not an army. An old Raw Partha miniature, and it's a huge dragon. I'd actually have to get the parts out and showcase that, and then some Macedonian elements, because I think I want to finish this project that's been sitting over here and get that up and out, because I can't have these guys sitting here like that anymore. And then I might sell my Beastmen that I've started. I'm not sure. So there's that. I can keep this stuff or sit on it forever. It makes me no difference. But, as far as like getting a flow improved in here, I'm just running short on storage space, and my mom is being a bitch right now. So there's that. I would like to do a, let me just go into the closing mode here. Yeah, I played Scorn and Hordes. That game was a passing fad if I ever saw one. So maybe at least once a month, pick a movie, showcase it on Rumble, and then those will be live events. And I think that I get away with a lot more on Rumble than I do on ProTube. So. I don't think there's anything else announcement-wise. I think a 9:30 a.m. start time on Mountain Time for the live hangout on Rumble will be the Bully Pulpit. Plus, I've actually gained some extra subscribers as a result of my last video. So this is to their benefit. If they're watching, I hope you watched all the way to the end. And I hope you enjoyed some of the painting tips that I gave you out today. I'm actually hopeful to get this done, so I don't think I'll be going to the Transformers movie. I'm going to finish these 3 guys and these 2 Knights Errant. I'm going to call that a day. Thanks for everybody for watching, and in case I don't see you, YouTube has many features you can use to interact with me. You can like the video, dislike the video, comment, or subscribe. If you want to get a hold of me after the show, I'm very active at getting back to people who contact me on Instagram. Instagram DMs are the best way to get in touch with me. Link in the description below for Instagram. And then you can always go over to Rumble. I'm going to put some content up there. There's going to be another battle report where I fight against the Chaos Dwarves. That will go up on Rumble weeks before I go to YouTube. Before it goes to YouTube, you'll actually see another stream on YouTube the moment it's live on Rumble. Again, Rumble being the home of all my battle reports. Thank you for watching, and stay metal, my friends, and we'll see you in the next one.